It's the end of the world as we know it. And yes, I feel fine, and I'll show you why. 24 years ago, I started on this little thing, Team Lutz. We built an electric car. It was Yale's first. We raced it across the United States. It was a lot of fun, and I had no idea what would happen 20 years later. I did a bunch of stuff. It was not very straightforward. I went to China, went to policy school. I joined an automotive supplier, spent it at home with Lisa, who's here today. And then 10 years ago, I set up my own consulting firm with a focus on China. And then last year, I was appointed by the German Federal Ministry of Transportation as the research area coordinator for battery electric mobility cooperation with China. And it looks like that today. So we have a small team working on this. We support German companies and research institutions in doing research cooperation projects with Chinese partners. We advise the German ministry, for example here the vice minister. And we have really cool and big toys, very powerful. This is a supercharger for an electric bus in the city of Shenzhen. The city of 12.5 million people has electrified its entire public transit system, including 16,000 electric buses, and they finished that 2 years ago. So China is definitely the place to be for mass application of electric mobility. So mobility, what is the world as we know it today? It's pretty obvious when we walk through the streets that cars are really important in our society, maybe except New York City, which is really different in that sense. And if we take a moment to think about how important are cars for our lives, here's a thought for you. Everything in your house came by car or truck, except maybe one of these. Cars are the foundation of how we plan our cities. They are what gives us freedom. Freedom to choose where we live, freedom to choose where we work, freedom to go where we want to go, when we want to go. And they are the single biggest consumer item for almost everybody in this country, but also in other countries. They are the foundation for economic development for most countries. So why is that? And here's a glimpse of how central it is. This is an overview of just the major laws that have to be changed in Germany just to enable electric mobility to happen at all. And there's 52 of them. At the European level, at the federal level, state level, and local level. So this is really deep in our foundation of our society. Why is gasoline so special? That's the world as we know it. It has an incredible energy density. And this makes mobility available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Almost, but largely speaking. And this is because we can take oil from the ground. Oops. We can take oil from the ground when we want it and refine it. We can store it at room temperature and room pressure, at normal pressure. We can distribute it, and then when we finally put it in our cars, it's a matter of minutes to get an incredible range, very versatile. So gasoline-powered mobility is the great equalizer of the 20th century. It's like the six-shooter of the 20th century. It gives everybody the power to participate in society. Electric mobility, on the other hand, has restrictions on availability, versatility, and ownership group. The cars are very expensive, and they will remain very expensive. The electricity is given to us when Mother Nature chooses, not when we want it. We need to distribute it immediately. And finally, the cars are not very easy to use. They take a long time to charge, and so on and so on. So it is not the great equalizer. It is not a foundation to build an equal opportunity and a decentralized society like we have here in the States, in Germany, and in most other countries. And we have decided to start this end of the world. So why summon this end of the world as we know it? Now we get into technology policy, and I have to warn you, this is not easy stuff. When we look at the CO2 emissions from transport, and we want to get to zero eventually, the current base case will not get us there. We need something that's more aggressive. However, this progressive case carries a very large cost in the short and mid run. And this additional cost that we see of the base case, this makes it almost impossible to push this through in a democracy because of the processes, but also because of the cycles that we have. So the natural reaction is to act like a turtle. We withdraw into our shell and we hope the shell will protect us. However, in the long run, this is not such a good idea because the additional costs that we get in terms of natural calamities, in terms of migration pressures, this will eventually turn this cute little turtle into a monster. And this monster does have the potential to really summon the end of the world, not just as we know it. So technology policy is here to save the day. We work hard to get to a progressive scenario to reduce the cost and to soften the blow in the mid-run. For example, with subsidies, with helping people to be less afraid of the changes and so on. So, it's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. I'm honored to be part of this, with however small my contribution can be. Thanks.